I've been following Gary Vee for like 20 years at this point, and I still suck at social media. Now, that's no one's fault but mine. I just don't post enough and I'm not on enough platforms, especially according to his standards, where you should basically document your entire life. Now, I'm not going to go down that path, but I would like to grow online. I've even tried vibe coding my own platforms to help me do this, but it always hits a roadblock somewhere because connecting to all of these social media networks involves a lot of API keys and expenses, and it's just complex. It's not really how I want to spend my time, is programming a system to help me potentially grow online. It's just one too many steps from the end goal for me. So I was pleased when I saw RobinReach over on AppSumo. Here it is right here. Now, RobinReach is currently on sale for AppSumo Plus members only as part of their Deal Is Right collection that's going to end on July 24th. Now, don't fear, after July 24th, it will be available to everybody, but at a slightly increased cost. So $69 right now, if you're an AppSumo Plus member, is going to get you the best deal. Now for the rest of this video, I'm going to try out all of the features of RobinReach, show you how they work, and talk about what I like about this tool and what I think needs more improvement. Now, one thing you should know going in is that $69 price point I mentioned does not include MCP or API access, something that I'm going to talk about in this video. So for those features, you do need to go up to tier 2, which more than doubles the cost. So keep that in mind. By the way, this video is sponsored by AppSumo, but they have no input on my actual review of the product. I'm just going to tell you about the sale that's going on right now. And if you want to participate in that, I've got a link down below in the description to help out this channel if you want to partake in the AppSumo sale. Otherwise, you can take everything I'm saying here at face value. I won't sugarcoat anything. So here's the RobinReach interface, and truth be told, I don't love everything about it. It has a very social media manager-esque UI, which I guess it checks that box because that's exactly what this tool is. But I think this entire industry is due for a refresh in terms of how they present the information on screen. It's just so bubbly and round, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't work for me personally, but the tools work great. And I say that word on purpose, tools, because this is really like a toolbox of different applications that can work together, but can also work separately to help you grow on your social media networks. So let's walk through the most basic functionalities here. Connecting up your accounts. This was really straightforward. I went ahead and did this before I hit record. I connected up Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. I don't have any of the other platforms, at least that I want to include in this video, so I can say that those all connected very smoothly, no real issues there. Sometimes that is trouble, by the way. Often the API connections do break even on these paid tools. So I wanted to check them out, and I tried to connect as many as I could, and everything worked flawlessly. No hangups, no sometimes you get in a loop or something. None of that happened here. So very, very smooth. Now, once your accounts are connected, the next most obvious thing to do would be to post on social media. For that, there is a compose button right here. I do like that it's not too over the top. Sometimes tools will have compose buttons all over the screen. They're like, write a message. And it's like, well, there's just one here. It's not even the first thing in the menu. So you hit compose, you can write your message here, choose which platforms you want to post to, and then you'll see a preview message over here. So for example here, I've got a message that I used AI to help me write, and then I can select the profiles that I want to post to. So we'll do Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We'll start with those three. Now, as I select them, I've got previews of what the post will look like over here. Now notice there's no image here, so I'll need to add an image, at least for Instagram. Then down below, I've got options for the specific network. So Facebook options right here. I can post as a reel or as a story. So I can post as a post as a reel, or post as a story. And if I'm posting as a post, I can add a comment. So that's really cool because then I can actually link to the specific thing that I want to share. If you've ever noticed that companies do that, it's because reach tends to be impacted when there's a link in the main post on Facebook. So everybody puts it in the comments. Okay, so there is my comment. Now, if we go down to LinkedIn, I can change the publishing time for LinkedIn, and Instagram, I can choose that as a post, as a reel, or as a story here as well, and include comments. So that's a nice touch. One thing I would like to be able to do is just tweak the post for different networks so that I could say like, all right, I want to modify the Instagram post here to say link in the bio, but on the Facebook post, I want to say link in the comments. But unfortunately, it's just not capable of doing that. So if I switch back over here, you can see that it says link in the comments, and here it says link in the bio. So I would just have to say link below, and then the first comment could include, it's all workable, but you have to kind of be thoughtful about how I can make one post work on all of the different social media networks. Now, they do have a repurposing tool, which will take care of some of this for you. I'm showing you the Compose tool right now, which is just a little bit more of a traditional social media tool. So don't get too caught up on that. We'll see some of the more advanced features later. I can use AI to optimize my post. One thing I don't like about this is there's no undo button. So what I just optimized, that's what I've got. So I can't say go back to my original here. I don't like this as much. And honestly, I don't like it as much. It's kind of hard to read. It's all bunched together, and it added all of these hashtags. Some other features I would love to see them add is the ability to turn on and off hashtags. I don't like using hashtags. I think they're a little outdated looking at this point. I would like to turn them off. Emojis, same thing. All of the optimized posts that it generates has a ton of emojis in it, so I would like to remove those as well. Going back to my original post here, you can see it has a bunch of emojis, but it actually wrote this post for me, so that's why it looks the way it does. Now, I want to include an image here, so I can either upload an image by just dropping something in right here, I can use AI to generate an image, or I can connect up to my media library. You can see here is the media library, but I've also got integrations with all of these other tools, so I can grab GIFs or connect up to my Google Drive, whatever I want to do. Now, we'll look at the media library in a minute. It's right over here where it says library. So I'd be able to pull images into that. Okay, so let's just generate an image here with AI and see what it comes up with. So generating the image. By the way, while it's generating, there are limits in how much AI generation you can do in terms of the content posts. Here are the limits. You get unlimited if you go up to tier 3. And in terms of the AI images, pretty limited at the low plans, but if you buy a bigger plan, of course, you get a lot more. All right, here is the output. I think it's okay, but it's missing like some text here or something. It definitely just has that AI generated flair to it where you can instantly look at it and know, all right, a human did not make this. One thing I don't like is that I can't really give it a prompt to correct it or revise it. It kind of just takes what you have in terms of your social media post and then uses that as the prompt to create the image. It's not terrible, but it certainly could be tweaked and improved. So what I'm gonna do is just drop in the featured image from my actual blog post here. I think that one looks a little bit more appropriate. At least it grabs your attention with my logo here. And let's go ahead and just hit confirm here. Now I could save it as a draft, but I just wanna try this out. Oh, it looks like I have to convert this because it's a WebP image. It came off my website. So let me convert it quick. Okay, there we go. Now before I hit post, we can just see what it'll look like on each network here. The preview honestly looks pretty similar, just the buttons change around it. It's not like, that jarring to me, but it's nice to have, I guess, if you're, nitpicky, you want to see how everything looks. Now I'm going to hit confirm here and let's just see if it goes out onto the social media webs, if it posts successfully. All right, it says post saved as a draft. I'm not sure why it did that. I meant to go ahead and post it. Probably something with user error here. So let's go ahead and publish this now. Oh, you know why? It's probably because it scheduled it out for my next available time slot. That makes a ton of sense. Let me show you how that works after we confirm that this actually goes online. All right, my post is being published. It will be live in a few seconds. All right, good news. Everything went smoothly. So here is the post on Facebook. Even has the comment that did take a second to show up. I thought it wasn't going to happen, but there it is. Over on Instagram, it worked as well, even though this is not a 16, it's a 16 by 9, not a 1 by 1 image. Posted just fine, automatically did not have to log in via my phone and repost it like the old days. And then we have LinkedIn here. It worked as well. So overall, connecting accounts, posting to social media works flawlessly. Now, I was mentioning that I set up certain times for RobinReach to post. That's why the post didn't go live instantaneously. That is done over in the brand settings. So when I logged in, I set this up, I added my name, I chose my preferred times, and the next available time here would be 1700 hours or 5 o'clock in my time zone. And then I also set the days that I wanted it to post. That's about it. I added in a brand tone and a brand mission here. That's probably going to influence the AI prompts that get generated on my behalf. But Otherwise, kind of set it and forget it in terms of the scheduling. It just does it for you. Well, it would do the scheduling for you, assuming that you go ahead and compose new posts all the time. It's just going to go to the next available time slot, meaning that you will not fill up your timeline with like 15 posts in a row and then you go 6 days without posting again, right? The idea is to trickle information out over time. But there is also repurposing of content right here, whereas you might prefer to post on Facebook, but you still want the content to go out to the other social media networks. So what you can do here is choose a profile that's going to be kind of your main platform. So here's Facebook, and then I can choose destination profiles so that it gets repurposed to all of the other networks. I can filter things out with hashtags. So if I wanted to include a hashtag that meant it would not be repurposed, I could be clever about how to do that so it wasn't super obvious. And then I have options here in terms of auto publishing, AI optimizing, and including images. So auto publishing is going to mean that it doesn't go into draft mode. It's just going to automatically post to the other networks. If you're looking for the least amount of friction, but you're willing to take some risk that, content doesn't make as much sense for certain networks, you could turn this on. I would just test this out a little bit before you turn on auto posting and AI optimized. Make sure that you're happy with the AI optimizations that are happening. In my opinion, the AI optimizations are just a little bit more bland and generic. I want to have more personality there, but there's a way to fix that if you have an AI agent on your side. So if you use Codex, Claude Code, Hermes Agent, OpenClaw, you can connect that up to actually take care of a lot of this for you. So more on that in a minute. But you could set up this repurposing workflow and then it would just automatically run through things. There's some other options here as well. You can pull in your social media content that you've posted previously. You can see an import section here. Choose your source profile, and then you can just bring in that content and then target other profiles you want to repurpose to. So very, very similar to what we saw before, but this would be going back in time to be able to repurpose things. So very cool feature there. Then the last two options here are maybe not as obvious that they live in the repurpose category, but still very usable here. We can do tweet to image. So I can link to a tweet here. Here is a tweet of mine, and then I'm just gonna hit convert, and it's gonna go ahead and pull this in and save it as an image inside of my media library. Here's what the image will look like. I can choose a folder here. Now you do have to set up the folder ahead of time, which I've just got one folder I created called brand assets. So I'm gonna save it to that, even though it's not a good fit. And now I'll be able to use this image when I compose other social media messages inside of the compose section. To finish up inside of repurpose, the last one is post wave. I actually like this feature a lot. It takes an article and then changes it into social media posts. So you basically paste in the article URL, choose your profiles, and then you can customize the posts to add hashtags and other enhancements. So here is a recent post on my blog about Helploom, a tool I reviewed just yesterday. I want to change this into a social media campaign. So I'll paste in the URL here. I'm going to choose Facebook and LinkedIn for now, set a number of posts that I want to create. I'm going to do 2 for now, and then let's repurpose the article. And here we go. We've got 2 generated posts. Now, the bad news is it added these images, which obviously don't look great. I don't know why they're varying in quality. I think this is like the favicon and then, maybe like the icon on my website. So we need to edit this for sure. There are actually images on this post, so it's a little bit frustrating that it didn't grab it. If I just copy and paste the URL again, it at least adds in the featured image from the post, which is better. So obviously a fail here, but if it could run things by grabbing either the right images from the blog post or just have a toggle to use the featured image, then it would be very, very usable. As it is right now, I'm gonna have to go through and at least approve every single post. It's not like a set it and forget it thing. Not the end of the world, but not as good as it could be. Okay, so that's the repurpose section. Let's move on to engage. This is all about comments. So it supports both Facebook and LinkedIn, maybe some other networks that I'm not connected to yet, but I know it works for these 2, so that as people respond to your posts that you scheduled and sent through RobinReach, they will show up here so that you can engage with them and not let those comments go lost. As you're posting to more networks, then you have more people to respond to. It gets to be overwhelming. So it's nice that they built in kind of a little doc here where we can respond to everybody all in one go. The next tab is all about automation. So you can either bulk upload a CSV file with all of your social media posts. So if you're using ChatGPT to generate that, you can just dump it right into RobinReach. There is a better way to do that. I'll talk about it in a minute, but that is an option, kind of like the way from a couple of years ago that was saving people a ton of time. Now you can do that inside of RobinReach. You can also connect your RSS feed. I did this. It actually worked pretty good. So it went out to my website, finds the latest blog posts, and then generates posts for different social media networks. So I can show you how that works here. Just hit add new RSS feed, give the feed a name, set the URL, any hashtags you want to use, any post labels you want to use, and then set the frequency for when it goes and checks your feed. Then set your scheduled times, which profiles you want to post to, and you're good to go. I always leave add blog URL to the post because the goal is to get people from social media over to your blog where hopefully they can sign up for your newsletter or buy your products, so on and so forth. We can also include images, publish immediately, which means it will override your schedule, and auto schedule posts, which means there'll be no approval phase. If you have this turned off, posts will be left in draft and you need to approve them before they actually go out. I did try this out and it worked very well. It created a post for me right down here. I would definitely go in and modify it a bit, but overall, pretty happy with it. Just a couple more features to show you here, and then I'm gonna talk about how to add in your AI agent. Next up's the media library. I talked about that briefly before. You can create folders here, so I'll make a new folder, call it temp, and then I can add images to this. By the way, they don't have to just be images that you upload. You can grab images from Unsplash and then save them because you want to reuse them later. So if I search for computer and everything is computer, we can go ahead and grab this computer, easily reuse it in our post later on. I'd love a simple image editor here to add like some text to these images. It doesn't do that. It's not a Canva replacement, but as we saw before, we can easily link up the accounts to bring images from Canva into our social media posts. Okay, next they have this thing called RobinGen AI. This is basically like using ChatGPT to write your posts. So you could say something like, write me a post to help promote my newest product. In my case, I wrote, write me a post to help me promote my newsletter, and then I included a link to that newsletter. It came back with a post here, but it's kind of generic, right? It's not specific to my newsletter, meaning it did not go to my website, learn what the newsletter offers, and then include that in the social media post. That would be great, but it's just not that full featured. It's not an agent acting on your behalf. It's more just like a chat interface without web access. Keep in mind, we can automate these types of things, so we can connect up to our Shopify store, our WooCommerce store, bring our products in, and then have it create posts for us automatically. But if you're looking to use RobinGen to do that for you, it's just not gonna do it. All right, the last thing to mention is the integrations here, which are killer. They have integrations for all of the major platforms. Now, honestly, this is the same thing. It's an MCP server, but they can say, hey, we work with all of these tools, and they do. So it's not lying, but they give you individual instructions for how to connect up each device. So I've connected mine up to my Hermes agent already and asked it a little bit about what it can do. So this will be true even if you're using Claude Code or OpenClaw or Codex, whatever you're using to connect up through the MCP, it will be able to do all of these things. Now, here's the actual prompt that I gave my agent Lloyd. I just said, hey, I added this to your config. Can you use it? What can you do? And it's like, yeah, it's connected right now. It can see all of my accounts. It knows about my lifetime deal. It can see that there's already stuff in the pipeline. It can publish things for me, create and update drafts, schedule them, bulk create. It can do it's your social media manager, right? This is amazing. So it can even see the engagement tab to see what comments have come in. It can do content operations. So go ahead and learn style from past posts. Create multiple posts from an article, can basically run the entire show just right from your agent. So for me personally, even though I just spent however many minutes showing you all of the graphical user interface features that are available, the real magic here is in the MCP, where I can just control my entire social media pipeline right from my chat with my agent. Absolutely amazing. Even has access to analytics, so I can figure out what's working and what is not. By the way, there are guardrails here. It knows to validate, not post without permission, and write using my brand voice. Everything you'd expect to see, it's gonna do automatically. Lloyd's final opinion on it is that it's a full social ops desk that I can run inside of Hermes. I agree. From everything I've tried so far, it works beautifully. So that's RobinReach over on AppSumo. I am very excited about this one. I plan on using it as my main operating platform for social media going forward. So if you want to know if it was worth it, check my social media. If I'm posting more frequently, getting more engagement, well, then you know it was well worth it. In terms of a score, I'm gonna give this one a 7.9. It is feature packed, but I don't love the interface, although the MCP seems to be a good fit for my agent, Lloyd. That's gonna do it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. Tell your friends, help me grow the channel, subscribe. If you have any questions, of course, I'm down below in the comments. Hit me up anytime. My name is Dave. I'll see you in the next one.